So I didn't know how I wanted to do this video at first. I wasn't sure if it was going to be like a how-to video or tips and tricks, but I think what we need to just have is a discussion. And the discussion I want to talk about is stem lengths. So let's get at it. So in the past 2 to 3 years, we've seen bike geometry trends do this longer, lower slacker, meaning that wheelbases and top tubes have gotten longer, head angles have gotten slacker, and overall the bike is sitting lower. So we're talking about bottom bracket height in accordance to the ground. With that, we've also seen a lot of different trends in componentry change. With the longer bikes, we've seen a lot of shorter stems come into play. To where most bikes these days are running almost 30 to 40 millimeter stems versus maybe 50 or 60 that we saw, in 5-6 years ago. So now comparing a 40 to a 50 isn't a whole lot, but you would be surprised at the differences in feel even just 10 millimeters can make. And a lot of people are almost feeling like 50 millimeter is too long. But if we look at bike checks and pros, people like Martin Mays, Lewis Buchanan, Jared Graves, Richie Rue, they're all running around 50 millimeter stems. So if you are, top level racer or just a bike enthusiast, long stems or longer stems are still here to play. So why would you want to change your stem length? Well, typically you're going to chase a handling characteristic or you're chasing a fit characteristic. So maybe the bike feels too long, so you want to bring it back, or if the bike feels too short, and you want to lengthen a little bit. Here is why I wanted to experiment with stem length. I have always struggled with front end feel, just confidence and having that tire dig in, and help me really rail turns as confidently as I want them to. So I eliminated a lot of other variables. I have a front tire that I love and it gives me the most confidence given the current bike and setup. I found my ideal suspension setting in terms of being great on the hands, but also being confident in all areas, including cornering. And then from there, I wanted to try changing up my stem length. So I have a Santa Cruz Mega Tower, which comes stock with a 40 millimeter stem, which a lot of bikes are these days. And I wanted to go up a little bit. So I went to a 50 millimeter stem, same model, same make, just a 50 instead of a 40, slapped that on, and here is what I found. So as far as fit goes, I did like the a little bit additional length. Even though 10 millimeters doesn't feel like a whole lot, I actually did prefer how it kind of really created some space in the middle of the bike for me. I could feel like I could get into a really good attack position, and I feel like I could get into a comfortable climbing position even with that additional length. Second of all, how the handling changed is it slowed everything down a little bit. And maybe slower isn't the best way to say it, but it maybe smoothed things out a little bit to where, the handling wasn't as twitchy. I could be more confident holding lines and turns just because the longer stem will create a little bit more stability of the front end. So why would you want to possibly change your stem length? Again, I think it comes down to if you are chasing a handling feel or if you're chasing a fit feel. Either way, giving it a try, maybe going out to a 50 or even longer, I think you'd be surprised at what it could add to your overall bike experience. So again, this video is kind of to more share about my experiences, and I'm not trying to tell you what's right or what's wrong. Cockpits, especially on bikes, are very personal. Everybody has their ideal way to set things up. But again, if you are trying to chase a different feel or different fit, a stem length, no matter if you think it's too long or too short, might be a good place to start. So if you have any more detailed questions, I would love to provide more detailed answers. A lot of times when you're making these things, you're like only thinking, or you're only seeing like 10% of the things that you thought of before you came over here and started recording. So always happy to discuss these things and have conversations with you all in the comments section. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you possibly got maybe something, whether little or big, out of this video. Up next, we are going to be trying out a mullet bike, so we're going to talk about how we set up the particular mullet tester that we did, and then we're also going to do a review on that. So that's coming up next week. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys then.